Is the government really going to go after paychecks?
It appears that they're prepared to do so.
Imagine waking up one morning expecting your tax refund to hit your bank account, only to find out that the government took it before you even saw a dollar.
Y'all garnish my wages, I'm garnishing my damn job, period.
That's about to be the reality. That's about to hit millions of Americans starting on May 5th.
And seize portions of Social Security checks and other benefit payments to go toward paying back the loans.
In this video, we're going to talk about 5 things you need to know right now about how the Trump administration is going to be collecting on student loans very soon.
The Education Department says more than 5 million borrowers are in default on their federal student loans. 4 million more could default in the next few months.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Listen, we got something serious to talk about today, and it's not getting nearly enough attention, okay? And we're talking about the return of federal student loan collections, okay? Now, after a 5-year freeze, the government is getting back into the business of collecting default student loans, okay? Now, if you're not ready, it could impact your paycheck, it could impact your tax refund, and even your Social Security benefits. Let's break everything down. Number 1, the collections freeze is over for good, okay? Now, since March 2020, federal student loan collections were paused to give borrowers relief during the pandemic. Now, it wasn't just student loans that were on pause. A lot of things were, okay? But here's the thing. No wage garnishments, no tax refund seizures. That pause officially ends on May 5th of this year, okay? If you have federal student loans in default, the Department of Education will start sending your information to the Treasury to collect what you owe. That means involuntary actions, which means garnishing your paycheck or even taking away your tax refund. It's all coming back. Take a look at this segment from PBS News where they break down exactly what's coming for default student loan borrowers.
The Trump administration are having a separate effect on higher ed, namely student loans and debt. Next month, the Department of Education will resume collections of defaulted student loans, ending a 5-year pause that began during the pandemic. As part of the process, the government will withhold tax refunds or Social Security and garnish wages to recover the debt. Right now, more than 5 million borrowers are already in default, with millions more at risk. Danielle Douglas Gabriel covers higher education for the Washington Post and joins us now. It's great to have you here. So help us understand why the administration is making this change and why now?
So honestly, this was always the plan. When the Biden administration, before leaving office, they had ended a number of programs that had really kind of softened the return to repayment. Now, if you recall, student loans resumed back in 2023. Then the Biden administration gave borrowers an additional 12-month grace period, whereby if you were to miss a payment or be late on a payment, it wouldn't count against you. That was over in September 2024. And I think now we're starting to see the consequences of the end of that grace period. A lot of borrowers I've spoken with in the last couple of months have said that they weren't even aware that student loans had fully gone back into repayment. And so many of them accidentally missed payments for several months. At least that's what they're saying to me. And now we're starting to see the consequences of that. I think around February, you were starting to hear about people whose credit score started to drop because the department had to, and student loan servicers that manage the loans had to report their late payments to the credit bureaus.
Real quick, be sure to download our free ebook today. All you got to do is scan this QR code right here or click the link in the description below. Now back to the video. Now let's go into number 2, okay? Over 5 million borrowers are already in default. Before you think this doesn't apply to you, understand the scale. Over 5 million borrowers are already in default. Default happens when you miss payments for at least 270 days. Once you're there, you're not just behind, you're exposed to aggressive collection tactics, okay? Now, over the pandemic, some borrowers slipped into default without even realizing it, okay? They thought payments were paused indefinitely. Now they're about to find out the hard way that the freeze is now over. Now, check this out. ABC News recently covered how many people are still unaware of their default status and what it really means.
We'll pay up or we'll take it ourselves. More than 5 million Americans whose student loans are in default are now less than 2 weeks from having their loans sent to debt collectors. That word coming from the Department of Education, which the Trump administration is actually trying to dismantle. Payments were first paused by President Trump in 2020 because of the pandemic. Then President Biden extended the pause multiple times, but Trump is now saying no more. Alex Brachet is tracking this for us. So, Alex, is the government really going to go after paychecks?
Well, Kira, it appears that they're prepared to do so, and the implications here are sweeping. As you mentioned, there are some 5 million American borrowers who have defaulted on student loan payments and could have those loans sent to collections as soon as May 5th, according to this memo from the Department of Education. These are people that haven't paid for roughly about 9 months. But look, I mean, it's kind of sweeping here in terms of how the Treasury Department will be looking at mechanisms to get some of that money back. They're talking about first looking at things like tax refunds and other maybe federal incomes, but then after a 30-day period, they will potentially garnish wages. I mean, there's a lot of confusion as to how this is going to be processed. We talked to a lot of borrowers who say that they've gotten cryptic notices from the Department of Ed or have gotten deferment notices that they didn't ask for. And there's also a community of borrowers that have enrolled in loan forgiveness programs that say that they're having a hard time figuring out how to go about that process. The Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program is one of them.
Number 3, how they'll take your money without warning. Okay, now here's how it all plays out. You file your taxes expecting a refund, but the Treasury seizes it to pay your student loan. Okay, you get your paycheck, but it's now lighter because 15% was taken through wage garnishment. Also, if you receive Social Security benefits, they can pull from that too. These actions happen automatically. So once your loan is flagged, you don't get a call asking if everything's okay. You're simply going to get a notice after the fact. Now, check out this other news report detailing the steps that the government is taking to seize refunds and garnish wages without waiting for a borrower to give permission.
Involuntary collection, let's just put this in plain English, it means the government can garnish wages, intercept tax refunds, and seize portions of Social Security checks and other benefit payments to go toward paying back the loans.
Number 4, your options are limited, okay? But you do still have some power. Here's the thing. If you're in default, your best option is loan rehabilitation, okay? It's a process in which you agree to make 9 affordable monthly payments. Once it's completed, then your loan is going to be removed from default status, okay? Now, another path is going to be loan consolidation, which means you're rolling your defaulted student loan into a new one, and you're pretty much starting off fresh. Now, right now, the income-driven repayment plans enrollment are paused because of legal challenges, also started by the Trump administration. But the Department of Education promises updates soon. The problem is we don't know when. Either way, reaching out to your loan servicer needs to be your first move. Number 5, prepare now or pay the price later, okay? Now, preparation is going to start with information, okay? Check your loan status. If you're not sure where you stand, log into your federal student aid account or call your loan servicer. If you are in default, act now before May 5th. Plan your taxes accordingly, especially if you're expecting a big refund. Know that it can be taken. If you start the rehabilitation process, you can stop collections before they start. Waiting only makes things harder. The earlier that you act, the more control you're going to keep. Now, here's the truth. This isn't just another policy change. It's a financial storm coming for millions of Americans. But if you prepare, you don't have to get swept away. Now, let me know in the comment section below. Are you ready for collections to come back? Are you already taking action? Did you get a chance to consolidate your loans? Let me know your strategy in the comment section below.